Hello and welcome to the New York Indian Film Festival. I am Suman Ghosh, Executive Director for the Indo-American Arts Council, the nonprofit arts organization that hosts NYIFF. I welcome you to our 2021 virtual edition, this year powered by Movie Saints. We're running June 4th to June 13th, and we have a whole host of films, 58 films to be precise, and celebrating the breadth of Indian cinema with films in 15 languages. If you've not checked out the entire lineup, feel free to do so. We are on nyiff.moviesaints.com, and you can check out the entire lineup. We also include exclusive Q&As with filmmakers through the film festival on different movies and different genres. One of which we are having here today with filmmakers associated with the Bengali films being shown at NYIFF. I have a panel, a great panel here today. We will first start with introducing Raj Shahani. Raj Shahani is a board member at IAC. He's also a very acclaimed sculptor based in New York and Bombay. In fact, he has graciously designed the NYIFF Awards this year, which will be unveiled very soon. And we are very excited about it. Welcome, Raj.
Thank you, Suman. Thank you very much.
We next have Suman Ghosh. He's a filmmaker based in Kolkata, India. We played his film Ahare last year at NYIFF. His directorial debut in 2014 was critically acclaimed and screened at the New York University's Tisch School of the Arts in 2015, and it was actually included in their PhD in cinema studies. He also became the first screenwriter to have collaborated with the acclaimed director Aparna Sen. Welcome, Ranjan.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have two film directors here whose films are playing at NYIFF this year. First, I'd like to bring to you Suman Ghosh. He's a national award-winning Indian filmmaker who's made many feature films and a documentary film which we played at NYIFF. In fact, that's not the only one. We've actually played 3 or 4 movies at NYIFF. He had his film training at Cornell University, and his first feature film, Footsteps, starring Soumitra Chatterjee and Nandita Das, won 2 national awards in 2008. It was also shown at numerous film festivals, including NYIFF at New York. He is also a professor of economics at Florida Atlantic University. Welcome, Suman.
Thank you.
Last but definitely not the least, we have Indusis Acharya. He is also an Indian film director working in Bengali cinema. His first feature film, Bil Rakosh, won acclaim at both national and international fairs. Indusis also worked with Kupa, which got rave reviews and won many awards and accolades. It was shown at international film festivals world over, and it won many, many awards. His third film is The Parcel, which has again, has won really many awards and Best Director Award at the Kolkata International Film Festival, and is now being shown at NYIFF. Welcome, Indusis.
Thank you. Thank you, Suman.
I will go ahead and let you talk. Looking forward to this conversation when I watch it later. And I'm also happy that the audiences get a treat in the form of this conversation. So go ahead and enjoy.
Good evening and good morning to everyone who is watching this. I hope it's going to be a great chat with 2 of my favorite filmmakers from this part of the world and from this part of India. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank NYIFF for inviting me to moderate this beautiful panel with Raj Shahani, Suman Ghosh, and Indusis Acharya on Bengali films. And you can watch 58 films in 15 languages at nyiff.moviesaints.com. And right now we are going to discuss about Searching for Happiness by Suman Ghosh and The Parcel by Indusis Acharya. So my first question to generally just, I hope this is going to be a freewheeling exercise. My first thing is to Shumanda, that searching for happiness in today's day and time, in this part of the world, whatever is happening the world over, what does this title mean to you right now? And when you had planned this film, Searching for Happiness, then and now, the difference or the similarities what do you think of this title right now in the context of the world today, searching for happiness?
Well, of course, in the last 1 year or so, everything has changed, more than 1 year now. And when I planned the movie and when I shot the movie, that was before the pandemic. And and so well, the search for happiness has been a quest since the time of Aristotle. So it is, a perpetual quest for what is the meaning of life and what we live life for. Uh, you know, but this basically had a very innocent beginning. The concept is from my then 5-year-old daughter, Maya, and so uh, to look at happiness from a child's perspective, it was a new experience for me, and I wanted this film to look through her eyes. And of course, we can talk about it interspersed with my take on the things which I want her to know also. So, in a sense, this film was a gift to my daughter, and I'm so lucky that it is getting all the acclaim in film festivals and all. And what I have observed is amongst the pandemic also, we are talking about how everything has changed and how happiness, but a 5-year-old daughter or a girl, or a boy, a kid, 5-year-old kid, to her, the world has not changed at all. Of course, they have now gone into a different cycle altogether, routine altogether. But that is what is intriguing. The innocence of the search for happiness for a child remains the same, where the entire world has changed. For us, everything has changed. So that is very interesting. So from her point of view, nothing has changed. They have adapted to the new world scenario in the last 1 year or so, and finding out happiness from trivial things, which was the point of my film also, and which I have found in her even now when I am, or my two daughters, they are 2 years apart, roughly same age zone. To them, they are finding happiness from the little things and not crib about, what she has not got in all this last year or so. So, yeah.
Right. Now I would like to.
Sorry, I have a question from Sumanji. Sumanji, you decided to make a film that has children in it.
Right.
They say children and animals are the most difficult subjects to, work with and film. How did you get the, the confidence to take up such a difficult task?
Very good question. And also, her age is 4 years, which is very difficult age, because if someone is 6 years old, you can make her understand a lot of things and talk to her in a different language altogether. But around 4 years, she doesn't care a damn of whatever anyone is telling. She will do whatever she likes. And I should mention that she is the daughter of a very acclaimed actress. She's a national award-winning actress, and she's who plays the mother in the film. So it was a mother-daughter combo, which were the main star cast of my film. And I think that made my life a bit easier, because she was her mother was playing her real mother in the film also. Or rather, the real mother was playing the mother in the film. So that made it, but still it remained that, I wanted her to behave according to what. And first of all, this script was, it was not scripted at all, this movie. I roughly knew the contours of where the story might go, and it was just, whatever I got from the impromptu reactions that made up the film throughout. And to be honest, just before the day of the shoot also, I told my crew members, I told my main actress Sudipta also, that I don't know whether this film will go anywhere and whether I can finish the film also, because it has no script and I cannot write a script for a 4-year-old kid. So to go back to your question, Raj, what I did was, at the very beginning of the script movie shoot, I remember I went to Sudipta's place and whatever. not only me, I was helped by Sudipta, who plays the mother, her husband, who is also a film director. And what I did was imbibe the fact in the little kid that, so the first scene we shot was they go and float the balloon high up in the sky. And throughout the movie, we convinced her that she really lost the balloon and, it is floating somewhere. And her innocence of 4-year-old made her convinced that what we are telling is the truth, and the narrative flowed from there. So I was asking her that, I think that uncle over there, he knows where your balloon is, because she knew that she has floated, like the balloon was floated with her mother from the terrace. Now I used to tell her that, well, this is the guy who knows where your balloon is, and of course she has named it only happiness and whatever. So, what I tried to do was enmesh the scripting with the real life, the way I'm talking to that kid. And I had a very nice cinematographer who was on his toes, and she was going and asking those people. And remember, she was not acting. She was really 100% sure that that guy knows where her balloon is. And that's how we took the shots also. And the entire movie was done that way. This was the process of bringing out, the, acting, so-called, from that 4-year-old kid. And I will tell later, another mischief which I did was, when I wanted her to cry, there was a scene where, so the entire day I did not let her meet with her mother. That was cruel on my part, I'm sure. But, so she was feeling the frustration of not meeting her mother through the entire day. And I told Sudipta that, however she misses you or whatever, I don't want her to see you. And we shot that at the end of the day, when her frustration was extreme that she can't meet her mother. And hence, when she ultimately saw her mother, she burst out into tears. And again, I told Shomi Khaldara, our DOP, that, frame it, and we cannot have double takes in
I
this.
actually wanted to ask you this question.
Yeah.
So how did that crying happen?
That was how. So I made her frustrated, and she was saying, "Ki maa ke dekhbo, maa kothay, and where is ma?" And we were saying that, we were talking within our crew that, is her mother lost or whatever, and she was, the anxiety was increasing even more. So when she saw her mother, that genuinely burst out. Seeing her mother after some time. And that was the shot also, where we were shooting live, where. So yeah, so that was how I got the performance from my actress Shahida. Yeah.
But that's incredible. That's commendable. That's how direction is done. You work with the actors, but you let them shine and come through.
Right.
So awesome job.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was quite a revelation. We came to know a lot of things. So my next question is to Indusis Acharya, the director of Parcel. Presently, what is happening in Calcutta, as we all know, is that we are only receiving parcels at home. Whether we are ordering wine, or we are ordering books, or we are ordering food, everything is coming through via parcels only. This is a very interesting situation, and right now we are discussing the parcel. So, but the parcel, and what also is happening is, because of the COVID, a lot of COVID warriors, they are parceling, they are sending via parcels, they are sending the food items, the medicines. So everything is through the parcels these days. But this parcel has a lot of this kind of deliveries are having a lot of positivity around it. Okay, and your parcel, that created a lot of mystery. So how do you see the parcel, the title, the parcel, in your film vis-a-vis what is happening to the parcel in the present day world? How does this ring to you? It's a similar question that I asked to Shumanda as well. That the title, how does it mean to you? What does it mean to you right now, vis-a-vis what you had planned while naming the film?
Primarily, parcel is very similar to gift. So whenever I thought of making a film, the Parcel was not in my mind. I have told it several times that I'm a very big fan of Michael Haneke, and my son's birthday was very close when I was in discussion with my producer, and my son got two gifts without any names. So he was very excited. Who gifted me this? Who gifted me this? Then it struck in my mind that why can't I write a script on this particular mystery? Because I wanted to make a film. I call it myself. The name I have given a tagline of my film. This is a reactive film. The Parcel is very much a reactive film. Reactive film means that you have some action, unknown action. There are a lot of stories untold, lot of incidents unseen, but we are at the receiving end. We are reacting on what is happening. We do not know what is happening inside the water, but we are experiencing the ripple factors. Now, always when a parcel comes to us, we do not know where is in it. You all can remember earlier there was telegram. When a postman used to come and deliver a piece of paper, telegram, everybody was anxious. What is there? Because it was an expensive event to send telegram to someone. It did cost word per word. So same thing parcel, until and unless you tear it up, you open it up, you do not know where is in it, what is in it. So I think that is the first reactive thing that comes into our mind. Now, second stage, if there is no name, who is sending me this? The second type of reaction. Third type of reaction, why is he or she sending me this? Now, the thing that creates inside us, that is disruption. And the entire film is based on this disruption. Seldom I have come across or expressed the real cause of the film, the real source, the crisis point of the film. Mainly, I harped on the particular reactive nature of human being, and in this film, the irritation that we all are going through right now. It's very similar to what I used to show in Parcel, or what was shown in Parcel. So, but what is there in the gift? What will I do with the gift, and why is somebody sending me the gift? Now you have infinite number of open questions that arises into yourself. So anybody can think anything and have made the film like that. The
True.
film was
Indeed.
like joining the dots. You may have some different perspective. You may have some may have some different perspectives. B have some different perspectives, but there are some common points which comes in between. I mean, it's the question of set and subsets in mathematics.
So, Acharya ji, you know what is most intriguing about your film is that when it starts off very mild and very melodious and very easy. And then very soon it goes on to become a mystery. It's almost like who done it. So is it a nice family film or is it a mystery film? You've done such a brilliant job of getting both the emotions. You know, you're bringing the family, you're bringing the family emotions, you're bringing the innocence, but at the same time, you're bringing so much tension and mystery to the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that movie.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you very much. Actually, my first film, Below the Damanuddin, was premiered at New York Indian Film Festival. And that film also, when I deep dive into the film, I explore a lot of things that actually exposes our social structure, socio-economic structure. I attempted the same thing in a different structure, different way in Parcel. There is a clear demarcation of individual family life and professional life. And I have emphasized our health system in a different way, and probably in a most practical, what we experience, what we go through. So basically, it's a family film. It starts with a family film, then explores in Indian health system and economic diversity.
It's true because see, most movies are, you say this is movie meant for women or for men or for children. This has all the elements, although it's a simple film, but it has the romance, it has the family, so, and it has the mystery. So it really involves you in the movie, and everybody enjoys it. It doesn't matter who you are and what age you are at. It's really targeting everybody. It seems like a simple film, but it's a very complex and beautifully made film by you. So
Thank you.
thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Okay. A little more, a slightly, kind of an academic question to both Shumanda and to Indrashishda. So my question to either of you, to both of you is, so first Shumanda can go and then Indrashishda can go, is that how many days or how many months or how many weeks did you take to conceptualize the film, to probably write the story and get to the screenplay, till you get onto the shoot, or till you got the producer on board, a rough idea of from the concept stage to the final draft of the screenplay. I understand that Shumanda, your film is more like direct cinema, which is like you mentioned, but Indrashishda, yours is fiction. So like how much time you took approximately, roughly? Yeah,
For me,
Uh,
for both of you. First, Shumanda can go, and then you can go.
this is roughly true for any movie which I do. Once an idea comes into my mind, I typically see it at least for a year. That after 1 year, whether that idea still resonates with me or not. Because oftentimes what happens is, and that's why you will see that too many films are often made by a single director or many directors, because oftentimes it happens, something strikes you, wow, this is a nice concept, it can be made into a nice film or whatever, however it strikes you, and then you start, getting down to work, and I think there is a dishonesty there. I think you're being dishonest to the concept there. So this incident happened. It was inspired by real life incident from my daughter only. Where my two daughters had done this, basically, of flying their balloon from Miami, where we live, and their expectation was that this balloon will go to Kolkata and spread happiness to her, grandparents and their cousins and relatives in Kolkata and Boston and everywhere, and then come back to themselves. And soon they realized that they have floated the balloon and they don't have a balloon themselves. And they went for a search, and that is, I continue her search in the movie. So when that incident happened, it was 1 year before I even thought of seriously making it into a film. I just found it intriguing that a 4 or 5 year old girl is saying that I'm searching for happiness. When I asked her that, what are you looking outside the window? She and both their sister and Maya, my daughter, said that she's searching for happiness. So I found it so philosophically loaded statement from a 5 year old kid. So I wanted to know what is that. Till then, I didn't know what does she mean by happiness. Which I show in the film, what literally is the happiness. So that struck me. I found it very deep, the concept, and uh, of course deep not in her mind, but the juxtaposition of the depth of the concept with the innocence of the child who is actually looking for her happiness in her own way. And I kept it in my mind. Then I was doing my Hindi film, so I didn't have time. But soon, after say 7 8 months, I still initially thought that, wow, this is still bothering me, and I think this will be a nice gift, because otherwise the films I make, they have, you all know about my other films. They have no interest. My children have no interest in them, neither the adults, but my children have nothing to do with the Kadamburi or a Boshu Porivar and P7. It's a dark film and whatever. So I always wanted to do something which she might at least identify and be comfortable watching it at least. So and then I thought that I will just, and to be very honest, I didn't have any ambition with this film, in the sense that I will, now that you're interviewing me for the New York Film Festival or whatever is happening with the film, it was just a gift which I wanted to gift my daughter, whom probably will appreciate it when she grows up 20 years from now or 15 years from now. She might appreciate a lot of other aspects in the movie which she might not now. So it was just a gift which I wanted to give my daughter, at this age. And that was the beginning. So going back to your question, it took again almost a month, almost a year, to actually be sure that I want to make this as a film. And of course, the language of the film is very different from my other films, though in my smaller films I always do these experiments in cinematic language. So
Right.
that came
Correct.
later as a thought of how I want to shoot it and blah blah blah. But going back to that, it was 1 year, and as I told you, I didn't have any script, But what happens is that after I'm sure I want to make a film, in my normal films, after that I take 3 or 4 months, even before writing down a. These days you don't write, you type. Typing down anything, I brew it in my mind for 3 4 months. The story then coalesces in my mind, and then I start writing down anything on paper or on final draft or whatever. So for this, that 3 month period was not needed, because once I
Right.
know that, because I also didn't, and that was the fun of the movie also, that I want to see how it evolves. It will evolve
True.
while on set, as
True.
against my previous films which are planned. And also in these smaller films, I try not to take a lot of my crew is very small, and for budgetary purposes also, because I cannot risk a high budget film on my experimental whims. And because this was produced by me, I didn't have any constraint that I have to qualify anything to any external producer. So after I decided, it was within a 1 month, I decided that I will do it like that. I had to just book Sudipta's date, because she was the only famous or proper actor in the movie. Otherwise, all of them are first time actors, never faced the camera. As you know, Shabornidhi was there.
Shabornidhi, yes,
I
yes.
made her act. My production guys acted, and and I wanted that all in all my these types of films. Only the main characters are, probably, even my earlier film Shamal Uncle. It had everybody was a non-actor, but here
Right.
I needed Sudipta for obvious reasons.
Hmm.
The film entirely revolves around her journey and her treatment with the kid. Though
Right.
Aida is the heroine. So after that, it was 1 month, and yeah. So, but it got stuck. The entire film took a lot to complete, because then the lockdown started.
Right.
We got stuck, and so yeah. So it got prolonged after we shot the film. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. What about you, Indrashishda?
Just not even near to the Shumanda's facts. So basically, we the independent filmmakers first search for the producers. When we get producers, then we search for the stories. What is to be done with this 15, 20 days, because they might change their mind. So, so for Bilu Rakhosh, actually, I worked for 2 years because it was produced by us. But for the next two films, Pupa was made within 15 days of conception. After I got the nod from producers, then I made the film within 45 days. Then I completed the script within 15 days. Almost similar to Parcel, when I met Ritu in that Delhi, then we discussed that we are going to make a film. Then she said, okay, we are going to make this film in December. That was in time of September. So, okay, I will give you a script within this budget. So then, in August. And I got the idea from my birthday gift of my son. Then I wrote the script within 15 to 20 days. Then we went on the floor in December. So it took almost four months overall. I conceived the idea in August and completed the shoot in December. In January, 1st of January.
Okay.
I thought, these ideas are about to explode in your head, and you sit on it for a long time, and then go out and look for producers. You went the other way around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
actually,
That's a lot of pressure to write a script within 15 days, and come up with a
Yes.
and then write a script, and then
Actually, Indrashi should have answered it different. So let me give you an anecdote. So there is a book by Bharadwaj Rangan on Mani Ratnam, where in the beginning of that book, there's a wonderful quote by Mani Ratnam, where Mani Ratnam is saying that people ask me from where did you get this idea, or how long did you think about the project and blah blah blah. So Mani Ratnam responds that I try to give intelligent answers, but all of them are backward storytelling type of thing. That I also don't know why it has not such thoughts and anything like that. But I can go back and try to give a solid answer, because otherwise people will think that how did that. So it was exposed justification, which leads me to a lot of the answers which I will tell in this book. It's a wonderful
Yes.
interview book with Bharadwaj Ranganam.
So that's why I was very candid with my answer. So I conceived the
that's
idea
why
just
I
4
was
months back.
impressed by his candid.
No, of course. I mean, it is always better to be candid, but so
And
the processes are so different.
as well.
No, just imagine the processes
Openness
Sure.
comes across in the movie as well.
Yeah, the
Yes.
processes are so different, but the outcomes are so good. One is taking 2 years to write a film, another is taking half a month to write a film, but still the
No,
films come out
what
to be. So
happens,
there is
Ranjan?
nothing.
No, what happens, because I'm a hardcore professional guy who work in PricewaterhouseCoopers. I've been working there for last 16 years. So process management, project management, portfolio management, what I do regularly in PwC. So whenever I got a short stint of time, I have to complete these by 2 months or 3 months.
Right.
Believe me, Shumanda, and you will also agree, the first part of the filmmaking is creative. Rest of the part is much more mechanical than creative.
Absolutely,
part.
absolutely, absolutely.
So basically, when I complete the script, I review it, continuously review it. Maybe fourth version, fifth version, I come out with sixth version within another 15 days of my completion of first version. So then I create a checklist. Now, what are the points that will make the film a little bit above our expectation, or whatever we thought about the film, what will improve the film? It's a retrospective thought process. What will make it better?
Right.
What layers I
Right.
can put into this?
Right.
Then I start
right.
observing the characters. Then I start observing the situations. So that really helps us, because my film always starts from the normal, very normal crisis. Then it goes bigger.
Right.
At least I
How do
try.
you switch off your corporate brain and get into your creative brain? Because this is two completely different things. Because if you tackle it the way you tackle things in your office, which is crisis management and how to put projects together, here you need emotion and all these things that go into a movie which you don't use in the office. So how do you turn that cold environment in your brain to become a nice and effective warm storytelling brain?
Absolutely, Raj. I like changing hats, because I work in PwC almost 11 months. So little bit of time whenever I get, I rejuvenate myself by writing thinking scripts, thinking stories, thinking crafting, watching movies, because I do not take much leave when I work. People usually take 20 to 30 days leave. I take 15 days leave. That is for shooting only. So, and in between, I do not make films each and every year. And the alternate year, I go for vacation with my family. So it's basically the structured process I have been following so far. And for filmmaking, I also told earlier that initially it is very creative, that I completely forget about my office. I write the script at the night. Once I complete the script, then the project management comes into play. Rather than, the man management, project management, budget management, risk assessment. These are the things, because we are the independent filmmakers. We do not have executive producers, do not have proper producers in place. We get the money, we distribute the money, we complete the film by ourselves. So far, I have been doing this. Lately,
True.
I have made a film. I was a director. Literally, I was a director, because the entire budgetary and project management was taken care by separate individuals.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it was really, and I really like doing this, because why I make films? Because it makes me live multiple lives in a single life.
True.
So I have compromised a lot of things in my corporate life. for making films. But yes, I'm enjoying.
Fantastic. This
This
is
is really
for most people. You can do one or the other thing, and you're being able to do both, which is fantastic. You're an inspiration for a lot of people.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think Shumanda can remember one night I was very upset and frustrated. I was asking Shumanda, I can't take it anymore. I may have to leave the job. Then Shumanda said, no, Indrashit, don't do it. Whatever, you make some compromises, don't leave your job. Shumanda can remember. We were discussing on WhatsApp.
Yeah, particularly the Bengali film scenario is not particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the downside
Uh,
risk is too high. When you have the
yeah,
option, why to give out that? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but the creative process is, it engrosses you and takes you in and sucks
Yes.
you in, and
Yeah. It
then
sucks.
to go back to normal life, which is very enriching. I mean, I'm sure you enjoy doing what you do in your office, but then this takes you to a different level, and it's so fantastic. And one of the best things you guys have on your side is the language. I mean, Bengali language, and is so sweet and so beautiful that making movies in Bengali, you already have an advantage. I mean, I'm not Bengali speaking, but watching the movie, while watching everybody speak Bengali, it was like watching somebody read poetry to me. I mean, it's so beautiful. You guys have such an advantage. So anybody watching these movies, they're going to enjoy it anyway. I mean, starting, you have your culture, which is fantastic. Your music is beautiful, and then you have this poetry way of speaking in Bengali, which is fantastic. So you guys have an advantage.
indeed. So coming to the question of enjoyment and all that, I would like to know from either of you, Shumanda and Indrashishda, do you have any particular moments during the shoot uh, which stuck out as something that you really enjoyed and it made your day, or some memory which was like really bad and horrible and which ruined your day? Like either, something which really stood out, some memory during the shoot, and which would remain with you throughout your lifetime. That this, for me, this moment during the shoot of this film is my takeaway to do this particular film, Searching for Happiness or The Parcel. First, Shumanda can go, and then Imran.
Uh,
Which can also, this can also work as a uh, point of interest for the audience, to watch the film,
so,
like a hook.
good question, because as Indrashish was saying, after you get on floors, it is so much of man management, and basically a director's job is then of a human resource manager.
Absolutely, totally, yeah.
So you don't have time also or the breath to realize, what are you gaining, like a moment like that. But in this film, after you asked this question, I was thinking about such a definitely one aspect which I still remember. And as I told you, this film was an exploratory film. I didn't know beforehand what am I going to get. So the other characters, the waste collector, the rickshawala, and the other characters that you see in the film, the parlor lady and whatever. So I followed their, or not I, our crew followed their life like a documentary. So for example, I didn't know what I am going to find out from them when I'm. So I felt so stupid. I remember when I asked that waste collector that, "Are you happy? Aapni जीवन खुशी?" He just didn't understand my question, and I felt so privileged and stupid and everything, that these are questions probably we can ask ourselves, that
True.
whether our what happened to our this film, or how much money we are getting, or for Indrash's case, whether he's getting the promotion or not. For you, maybe your when will you shoot your next, the 4 days left of your shoot, or whatever these are. So when I asked him, he just didn't understand what am I asking. He said that I work from this time to this time. I have so many kids. I buy them food and blah blah blah. So the basic. So I told my DOP Shomik Haldar that let's explore his life, because it is like a research project for us also. And I remember that you will see that at the end of the film there is a shot where, so every morning he goes with his little daughter whom he carries, like this, I think she will be 3 years old or something, two
Yeah.
or 3 years old,
Mm.
and
Yes.
another daughter who is 6 years old. he takes them to the tea stall, chaiwalar kache jaya ar ki. Every morning he has his cup of tea, and he buys two biscuits from the tea stall, the cookies, and he gives his daughters. And I keep that shot in the movie. If you see the last montage,
Right. Right.
and I could see the happiness in him doing that, and the daughters playing with each other, these kids, about that biscuit, the two biscuits, one daughter is sharing with the other, and he does that every day as a routine. And I remember after shooting that, again, remember, we didn't know that what is going to happen. We were waiting. He woke up from sleep, at 6 a.m. in the morning. Then we were staying outside with the camera, and then we started following him. He collected water. We didn't know where he is going. ওদের ঘুম থেকে তোলে বাচ্চাগুলোকে, and after waking them from sleep, he takes the daughter. We didn't know where is he going. Remember, so we were just following him, and then he goes to the tea stall, and then tea stall he takes the tea, and then we asked him that, do you do this every day? And then he said that আমার খুব ভালো লাগে, I like it so much. This moment where he buys those two cookies for their kids, it answered my question, which I personally asked, which I didn't get the answer for him initially. And in a sense, it was the purpose of the film also to explore what is happiness to a lot of other people in the world also. My daughter is an extremely privileged kid, growing up in Miami, and have all the basic comforts and luxuries of life. So when she saw the movie, she didn't understand those parts. Why am I showing these guys? So then I told her that maybe when you grow up, you will realize these parts. She was interested in Shahida's journey, which was her journey. So I told her that when you will grow up, you will understand that not all people are privileged as you guys are. And then she understood. She said, okay, I understand, Papa, now what you're saying. But going back to your question, that was a moment of purity which cinema, allowed me to explore and answer from this film, which I could not have done in a scripted film. In a scripted film, I have to have that, and so much budget pressure and everything. I cannot take a leeway and go for an explanation with my DOP to find out how. And similarly, not with only this guy, the other rickshawala, or who works in the
Right.
The way he has lunch every day with his friends from Bihar. They are from Bihar, and when they have lunch, they laugh out loud and they crack jokes and blah blah blah. Though their life is so hard, day-to-day life, there's no iota of happiness in their life, honestly. But I could tease out these moments of genuine happiness through the language of cinema. That was a big realization in this film. Yeah.
Right. Just a short interjection before I come to Indusis, that I found a lot of color coordination in your film, specifically in terms of the color of the balloon and the costume being worn by Shudipta and the child. They were more or less of the same color. So was it a conscious decision to
I give you a Mani Ratnam type answer, a very serious answer of how
No, you can give me your type of answer.
So to be very honest, no, answer is no. It was not coordinated at all. Only the balloon. I wanted something, because when we are shooting the balloon, it should be prominent enough so that visual captures the frame. It looks nice on that. So the color of the balloon was, of course, decided beforehand, prior, right? And also, if you know that there is a very famous film called The Red Balloon, which won Palme d'Or in Cannes, and I think 1960s. It was a brilliant film. If you have not seen it, you should see it. So somehow, that connection with Red Balloon came, or whatever it is. So the color of the balloon was red. Otherwise, it was not color coordinated at all. Rather, yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So the rest of it we are not going to discuss. It might act as spoilers. So let the audience find out what is this color coordination thing. For that you have to watch the film.
Yeah.
So Indusis, any moment during the shoot which made it worth your while?
Not really. The shoot went very smoothly. I can remember one interesting shot that you can remember. There is a long shot in a car where Ritupurna and Shashwata were sitting there. So,
you mean the long take?
The long take, yes. There were very long takes, sorry. a
Right.
very long take when Shashwat and Rituparna were there. And when I completed the particular take, the Rituparna will come from the car, will get down from the car, will come at the pavement. It was shot near Patuli, at the far south of Kolkata. Every time Rituparna's personal bodyguard went from our car, ran to her and said, Didi, are you okay? Because people used to come and surround Rituparna. Several time I told, don't go to her. She is shouting. This is very natural. People will come to her. Then after 4 times, she never listened to us. Then we locked him in the car and did the shoot. So this
This
is,
is such a
and the second thing is that particular shot they were not prepared of.
okay.
They were not at all prepared for the such long take.
Hmm.
Shashwat Chatterjee came to me, Indusis, 8 minutes. You cannot keep this shot in the film. Let us take other shots. I said, no, Opuda, it's okay. No, Indusis, I will give another 2-3 shots. Okay, you give. I know this is not going to work because they gave that shot such a perfect shot they gave that time. I was decided to keep that shot in my film.
No, definitely that shot and that take is one of the high points in the film, and I'm sure the audience is going to find out what that shot is all about and what Rituparna and Shashwata Chatterjee they were doing in that shot. So really good thing. Rajji, do you have any points here?
Well, I enjoyed the movies, but you know what interested me a lot about the movie Happiness is that it's a very simple story. I mean, if you look at it, it's a very simple story. Just like Sumanji said, that it's not even a story. It's an emotion. It is, it took a life of its own, and it kind of showed itself. But I like what Sumanji did in the movie, which it put all these layers. You have the garbage man, you have the lady from the parlor, you have the guy who's doing the mandap chairs, and
And
you
the
do
Joker. Yeah.
so many
The
small
Joker,
stories.
yes.
There are so many small stories. There's so many layers to the movie that you can watch it and enjoy it. And it's not very simple. It's as complex as a movie can be. I mean, there's so much
Yes,
to
yes, yes,
watch,
absolutely.
so much to enjoy, and there are so many little stories that are going on that it's a joy to watch that movie. It's not just a simple story. I mean, if we make it very simple, it could be only for children. But I think this is quite a study. This is, it's very revealing, and it's really, really nice. It's something that you adults can watch and have a good discussion after. So do watch, everybody. It's a great movie, Happiness. And for Parcel, I don't know what genre to give this movie. Is it a mystery, or is it the interaction between a man and a woman? Just when Happiness is a simple movie, I almost thought it could become like Home Alone. It almost can, you can compare it to Home Alone, and in the performance by Macaulay Culkin. This movie, The Parcel, there's so much emotion between interaction between the couple that it could be a mystery, and it really involves you. It takes you in, and you get riveted, and you want to wait for, like, who done it, who's done this. You kept the tension through the whole movie, Acharyaji. It was it's a movie with no frills. It's very simply filmed and shot, and there's no but it's very riveting. It's really a lot of fun. So I enjoyed watching both these movies, and you guys have got me to Bengali movies now. I think I'm going to ask, after we get off, I'm going to ask for recommendations and say, please send me other movies that I can watch. You guys have lured me into Bengali movies. Thank you.
I think that's a great. Point made by Rajji about both the films. That these are my takeaway from Searching for Happiness and The Parcel. Very complex subjects, extremely complex subjects, and being presented so simply with so much of simplicity.
I think they're simple subjects presented complexly. It starts off being very simple, but it has so many layers, and it has got so much more.
Yeah, actually, the best films or the better films or good films are always complex subjects which are told with a lot of simplicity. Not simplistically, but with a lot of simplicity. To my mind, Searching for Happiness and The Parcel are two such films which are extremely complex things going about themselves, about them, and still they are being presented so simply, and we are being drawn into this vortex of emotions and feelings and insecurities, and realizations about ourselves, and finally probably we are landing in some sort of a deep philosophy about life. Both the films, the Parcel has got a personal touch to it, and Searching for Happiness ends with a profound philosophy about life, like what Shumanda said about that tea seller, and
Joker,
about that
garbage.
biscuits. So I would request all the, and I think we have clocked at 50 minutes. So I would like to go back to Shumanda and to Indrashishda, and I would like you to come up with something for the audience, that why should they watch your film? This is like a come watch my film, otherwise you'll miss. So that people come and watch these two beautiful films. At the NYIFF this year, along with the 58 other films in 15 languages. So, Shumanda, you go first, and then in Rashishda, why should the audience come and watch Searching for Happiness and The Parcel, respectively?
I should give credit to Raj and you because all these 50 minutes, you all did a wonderful exploration of why should the answer is there, how you conducted everything. So I have nothing else to say other than watch Raj and Ranjan, tease out the best points of both Parcel and Searching for Happiness.
Wow.
The
In
same as
Rashishda.
Sumanda, we have already answered all the questions, and
Yeah.
thank you to Rajji and Ranjan, both of you, for conducting this session in such a way that I really enjoyed. I could not even think that we have crossed 50 minutes. It just went out like
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
that proves how efficient you are conducting programs. And for Parcel, yes, it will give me utmost pleasure if you watch it and discuss with us. And same for Searching for Happiness. I think every directors look for good audience, and if we get it, that's all. That is why we make films.
Absolutely.
And you guys have made fantastic movies. I mean,
Thank you.
if people don't watch it, they're going to really miss out. And one thing I forgot to say, in the Parcel, Acharya ji, the frontline, you've said good things about the frontline workers and doctors. You presented the doctors so well. So the doctors should watch it. The men, the women,
Yeah,
children, everybody.
please.
It's a movie that
All the
everybody-
doctors should watch this film.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
thank you.
So, big
Thank you very much.
congratulations to
Yeah.
both of you. And as I sign out, as I sign off, and as I sign out, I would request all the audience to watch these two films, Searching for Happiness and The Parcel, at knife.moviesaints.com, along with 58 other films in 15 languages. A beautiful lineup this year at NYIFF 2021. Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure talking to all three of you. Thank you, Rajji. Thank you, Shumanda, and thank you, Dashishta.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.